So then it was Yuji's turn to be targeted by them. The next day Yuji wanted to leave immediately because he was the target of the Blue Moon organization. Then he asked the receptionist for a city recommendation. The receptionist said that the town of Virginia is suitable for Yuji's pets because it's famous for monster armor there. The receptionist also recommended a shop owned by a man named Geiger. In the shop, there are many quality armors for monsters. It could even increase their status. The receptionist also didn't expect that Yuji would leave so soon. Yuji and the receptionist thanked each other, and Yuji immediately went to the city of Virginia. Two Blue Moon members are watching the forest to look for Yuji's whereabouts in the forest. I'll call them Freezy and Line. In manga and anime, their names are not mentioned. Line said he wanted to kill Yuji as soon as he loved killing other people. But Freeze forbids it. Their current job is just to keep an eye on Yuji. The Blue Moon organization wants to know whether Yuji is a threat to them or not. Then Line also found Yuji around the forest, and they would follow where he went. Yuji apparently already knows the whereabouts of Line and Freezy. Yuji also knew that they were members of Blue Moon. So he thought of avoiding them secretly. Yuji would trick them with the activities he was about to do. First, Yuji would rest in the forest and ask the slimes to watch their movements and conversations. Line and Freezy, who were watching Yuji, were at odds with each other. Line wanted to kill Yuji right now, but Freezy was still holding him again. If Line dares to move closer to Yuji, Freezy will not spare Line and will kill him immediately. Finally, Line did as Freezy said. Then Yuji continues his journey to the city of Virginia. After arriving there, Yuji immediately headed to the Geiger shop. Line watched him from a distance. It was seen that Yuji was checking the armor and the price there. However, Yuji pretended not to be able to afford it since he was still under the tutelage of Line and Freezy. After that, Yuji still acted to carry out his activities so that they would be deceived and not think of Yuji as a threat to the Blue Moon organization.
小銭を拾っている。
食料を買う金もないのか。
男にぶつかって金が足りなくて店員に追い払われ。
Even though Yuji had pretended to look weak and poor, Line and Freezy still wanted to keep an eye on him a little longer. Then Yuji had an idea to take the easiest quest in the Adventurers Guild and told Proud to attack the monsters.
俺っすか？いや無理無理。そうだ。強かったんだ。
Yuji suddenly heals the monsters and tells Proud to strike back. Yuji did this continuously, but Line and Freezy were still watching Yuji. Then Yuji had the idea of adding a buff to the monsters to make Proud freak out. He also wanted to add a buff to Proud. But when Yuji did it, Proud got even more excited, and he was able to kill the monsters quickly. This makes Line and Freezy even more suspicious of Yuji's strength. But Freezy thinks otherwise. If Yuji struggles against weak monsters, he won't threaten the Blue Moon organization. When Yuji felt safe, suddenly, one of the monsters that had been killed earlier got back up and approached Yuji. Yuji immediately summoned his sword to attack the monster with one slash. Line and Freezy were shocked that Yuji suddenly brought a sword. Line was worried about Yuji's strength that he had just seen. But Freezy said that Yuji wasn't a threat to the Blue Moon organization. They knew that Yuji's strength was very weak due to his fighting style like a beginner. Then Line and Freezy left there to report to another Blue Moon member. They said that the next target would be Priest Citral. Yuji heard this and asked his slimes to follow where Line and Freezy went. At night, Line and Freezy report to someone through the crystal ball. The man said the next target, Priest Citral, had to be killed. He was a great threat to the Blue Moon organization. After that, Line and Freezy will immediately leave from there. But Yuji couldn't just leave them alone after overhearing their conversation with someone through the crystal ball.
つまりメシアス村を全滅させようとした者がいる。暗殺対象を探れ。頼んだぞ。
The next day, Yuji returned to the Geiger shop to buy armor. He didn't pretend anymore this time because Line and Freezy had been killed. At first, Yuji was kicked out because the employees thought that Yuji was poor and just a beast tamer. But the shop owner, Geiger, allowed Yuji to buy armor. Geiger could tell that Yuji wasn't an ordinary beast tamer. However, Geiger couldn't sell the existing armor to Yuji because the slimes and Proud were very strong. Geiger's armor wouldn't last if Yuji kept buying it. Geiger was going to make new armor for Yuji's pet, but this town had a serious problem.
I hate you, girl. だから you can help me now.